Brandon, first time you've been dealing with a new head coach in this position. Joe's been in that seat about a month. You worked with him in the past. You said you learned new things even during the interview process. But what have you learned about Joe over the past month sitting in the head coaching role?
Yeah, I think Joe, it's not that I learned, but his energy hasn't changed. And these jobs, the higher you get, the more draining they can be. And obviously it's early, but I thought he was very intentional with how he built his staff. It's one thing to come in and interview and lay out a plan. It's another to execute it. And I give him credit. Like, he talked about some of the staff members that he wanted and how he wants to, build the offense and the defense and different things and his whole master plan of doing that. And I think, 3 or 4 weeks in, whatever we are, he is checking those boxes, as many as he can. And so that's been fun to see, because we've all been around it where you're kind of sold this, but it really doesn't play out that way. And listen, we're early in the process, but it's been fun to have some different conversations of how he sees things, how I see things that, conversations that, we didn't necessarily have, in years prior.
Jim Leonhard is one of the guys that Joe is bringing on here. We know that's bringing about change on the defensive side of things. How will that then dictate changes possibly you have to make with this roster on that side of the ball?
Yeah, great question. And we've, with Jim Leonhard here, he's talked about being multiple and having more 5 down front and different looks, trying to stress the opposing team's quarterback. And so, yes, we've already started those discussions of how this player fits. What is an ideal Sam linebacker or a nickel back, whatever it is, you name it. And so those conversations, they're not over. We're continuing to do that, and they're even coming up here in Indy. Like, that player, what I've seen so far, or I'm not sure if he has the intelligence, for that, in some of the meetings upstairs. But those will continue, and we know we have to, make some moves to get under the cap, and so we may take some of those into play as we do make decisions going forward.
Defense, offense, you're aggressive by nature. Yeah. You said it maybe is to your detriment. I would disagree. I think a lot of people would as well. Do you have the means to be aggressive to the extent maybe you would want to be this offseason, and is that seriously in play once again for you?
Listen, you never can have enough means, okay? You never can have enough cap dollars or enough draft assets. Those are what you're playing with. But listen, we'll be as aggressive as we can when it makes sense. And it's just, as I said, it's that fine line. I don't want to be reckless. I want to be smart and strategic. And you don't want to rob Peter to pay Paul. And you answered one thing, but you left a hole somewhere else. And so those are the decisions we'll continue to make. And sometimes you don't know what opportunities you sit here. I can tell you the year we traded for Stephon Diggs, sitting here at the Combine, that was not even being discussed as an option for us. So things like that can pop up in the next few weeks. They can pop up closer to the draft. Sometimes they even pop up, closer to the summertime. So we'll just kind of, play the landscape out there, head into free agency, make the decisions we have to have, and kind of take them one day at a time.
Brandon Beane keeping us guessing for the next couple months here at the Combine. I'm John Scott for Channel 2 Sports.